The deadly city, the first night of the zombie frenzy. The morning sunlight did not bring hope. Instead, it looked pale, almost sickly, washing the ruined city in a lifeless glow. John stood by the window, staring at the distant skyline. Smoke was rising from the city center, mingled with the echo of faint explosions. From time to time, sharp sirens cut through the air, followed by waves of screams. The city was collapsing beyond repair. Daddy, Julie rubbed her sleepy eyes, walked to his side, and tugged at his sleeve. Did something really bad happen? John bent down, rubbed her head gently, and spoke in a low but firm voice. Yes, but you don't need to be afraid. Yeah, I'm here. I'll keep you alive. Julie bit her lip, said nothing more, but clutched him tighter. John knew there was no time to waste. This place was no longer safe. He opened the cabinet, packed the last of the dry food and bottled water into his backpack, checked his handgun and spare magazines, then took Julie's hand and opened the door. The street outside was chaos incarnate. Overturned cars blocked the intersections, broken glass glittered on the ground like cold shards of ice, and long streaks of blood stretched from a building entrance into the middle of the road. A long crow perched on a lamppost and gave a harsh call. The sound echoed across the silence, making the atmosphere even heavier. Daddy, what's that? Julie's small hand trembled as she pointed ahead. Not far away, a middle-aged woman staggered toward them. Her clothes were torn and stained with dry blood, her eyes dull and empty. Worst of all, she was dragging a severed arm in her hand. Don't you look. Keep your head down, John said in a deep voice. But the woman suddenly caught their scent. She snapped her head up and let out a piercing shriek before charging forward with inhuman speed. Like a predator, bang! John raised his pistol and fired. The bullet pierced her forehead. The body collapsed heavily onto the pavement. Julie's face went pale with terror, but she held back her sobs. John saw it, and though his heart ached, he also felt relief his daughter was far braver than most. They moved carefully through the ruins of the street. From a distant mall came the muffled sound of howling, mixed with the crash of shattering glass. John quickened his pace, pulling Julie along, but then they heard a desperate voice.
Help!
Somebody help me!
The sound came from the second floor of the mall. Through a broken window, John saw a woman waving frantically, while several zombies battered the door behind her. Daddy, she's going to die. Julie's eyes widened. John clenched his teeth. He should have left. He had a daughter to protect. But he couldn't stand by and watch an innocent person be devoured. Stay close to me, he ordered in a low growl. He stormed into the mall, firing 3 quick shots. Zombies fell to the floor, skulls bursting open. John rushed up the stairs and kicked the door wide open. The woman had collapsed on the ground, trembling uncontrollably. But when she saw John, her eyes lit up with desperate hope.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't thank me yet. Move. He pulled her to her feet and let her out swiftly. Minutes later, the 3 of them crouched inside a narrow alleyway. The woman was gasping, tears streaming down her face. My name is Mary, she whispered shakily. If not for you, I'd already be dead. John gave a short nod. Stay with us. Don't he fall behind. Julie tugged gently at Mary's hand, whispering, Don't be scared, Auntie. Daddy is really strong. Mary looked at the father and daughter. For the first time since the world ended, she felt a flicker of warmth, a flicker of hope. But hope was short-lived. A sudden roar echoed from the street corner. Then came the pounding of countless footsteps. A horde of zombies surged into the street, flooding it like a black tide, blocking every way out. Damn it, John cursed under his breath, raising his pistol. Gunfire boomed in the narrow alley. Bullets shattered rotting skulls, spraying blood into the air. But there were too many. The horde pushed forward endlessly, forcing them back step by step. Daddy, Julie screamed in terror. John's face hardened. With one brutal kick, he smashed open a nearby iron door. Behind was an abandoned warehouse. Inside, they rushed in, slamming the door shut and locking it. Outside, the growls and pounding never ceased. The metal shuddered under the endless blows. The warehouse was dark, the only light coming from the pale moon through broken skylights. Dust floated in the air, cold and lifeless. They won't stop, Mary stammered. We're trapped. They will. John answered, his voice low but unyielding. His eyes gleamed with cold resolve. As long as I'm alive, You'll stay alive. Julie held her father's hand tightly, her eyes filled with pure trust. Outside, the frenzy of death raged on, tearing at the flesh of the city. Night had fully fallen. A city had become a corpse of fire and blood. Skyscrapers burned, streets drowned in gore, and tens of thousands of zombies wandered in the darkness. And in the midst of this hell, a sheriff, a little girl, and a woman survivor pressed their backs against the cold wall, clutching their courage and their last bullets as they faced the first night of the apocalypse.